Hello and welcome back. So we have this thing going on here. We just need to load some content over here every time we load this page. So we want to load in the brands, we want to load in the year and the category. Now, it's a good idea to just create a class for this kind of thing. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to models, new file, save this file as search.class.php. Okay, so let me just add my PHP tags there and call it a class. Search for stuff. Okay, so as usual, I will remove the arguments here. I don't need them. So I'm going to say function. So in this one, we want to be getting, what do we want to get? We want to get all the, we want to get all the categories, like so. So what we can do here is just run a query, simple and straightforward. Now the class name here must be search, of course. It does not extend another class. So query is equal to, let's say, select all from categories. Where, so let's go to the categories table and see why we need a where clause. Let me zoom out here. Categories. So we need a where clause because of the disabled here. We want to make sure that the things we are getting are not disabled. It shouldn't matter the parent. We can order by the views. So category where disabled is equal to 0, order by views, not views but views, descending. Okay, great. And then now what we can do is do db read, put that query in there. But we need an instance of that database class. So I'm just going to copy that, new instance, come back here, and there we go. Okay, there we go. Select from categories where disabled. Good. Alrighty then. So here we should return all the data. So I'm just going to say return. Now, what we really need from here is the category name itself and the ID. That's really as much as we want. Now, during the search, we can use the ID of the category, or we can use the name, but I think the ID is more robust because names have got issues sometimes. So let's use the ID. So here let's just return two things, ID, category, like that. That way we reduce the amount of data returned. We don't need these disabled, parent, and views either. Okay, so that's okay. So here we'll call this one get categories. Alrighty then. So in the same way we've done this, now, what we could do here is this. Since we have this search get categories here, the thing is we would have to, once we come down to the admin here, the product section, we would have to send the data the same way we normally send data through this, right? But there's another alternative because I've already shown you how to put data here and send it to the other side. Now the alternative is to run this as a static function. So we'll say public static get categories. So search get categories. Now in here, because this is static, we don't return the data. We just say this is data, and we say is equal to. And then we can run everything right here, do everything in here. So at this point, we will say if is array data. So if data is an array, let's loop through that array, shall we? And then we're going to say for each data as key and value. Now, we don't need the key. This is just going to be a row. So we want to echo out these things here immediately. So I will say echo like this. So we don't normally echo from a class like this, but I just want to show you that we can actually do things this way. This is okay because it's for a very specific purpose. So option, we just want to add the options here. And then let's put row. I keep forgetting whether these, what are these? Are these objects or not, or arrays? I am not sure. So we just give it a test. So say category. If it gives us an error, then there's an error. Okay, so row category, and then here we put the ID of there. We say row ID. So I'll get this, put it here, ID. Good. So now that we're going to loop through this, it's going to echo everything. So all I need now is to run this function as it is. So I'm just going to copy this and then go to my products.php. And this is the search box. So I'm going to go where it says categories right here. And then right down here, I am just going to paste that like so. Close the tag. But of course, I need to open the tag. And I don't need to write echo here at all. I just need to put search double colon like that. So let's give it a try and see what happens. So I'll be back here and I'll refresh the data. And as you can see, something is wrong, of course. So let me go back, and I think I have a pretty good guess what is wrong. So let me just put this back as arrays like this. Oopsie. Okay, let's see if that solves the problem. Oops, it does not. So what appears to be the error here? So let me inspect the element and see if I can get something out of this. It doesn't seem to be running well. So let me go back to admin here and paste this content. This is the products. I'm going to put this where the reason I can't see any errors is because it's inside the select statement here. So that doesn't tend to show the content. So all I need to do is put it outside like so, and that should show me a proper error. All right, there we go. So search not found. So it's saying class search not found. So that is where the problem is. So like we've done before, these classes that we want to include randomly, we can add them to the core. So I will open the container there. Now, a second thing you can do instead of doing this is to put an autoloader that can autoload functions from here, but that's beyond the scope of what we are doing here. So let's go back here, core, and I will just paste it in there. Alrighty then. Now it's not all over. I have to go to the init, and right here I will add it as one of these and say search. Awesome. So let's see what to complain about this time. Okay, so now let me close that and let's undo what we just did. It was correct. That wasn't the error. And refresh. Oh, what's happening? Cannot use object of type class as array. I'm not doing that, am I? Where am I doing that? So let me see here. It says products of PHP line 56. Okay. Well, let's go to a second place where this error is happening on line 26 in the class. 26 in the class. Well, these are actually objects, so I don't know what it's talking about. So let me save this again. Let's try again. Let's see here. Okay, so cannot use object of type standard class as array. So the thing is, once I moved the file from there, this didn't move at all. So when I saved the file, it went back in there. So it exists in there, and it also exists in the core. So it's reading from the core version and not this one. So let me delete this one more time, like so. And let me go to the core here and open that one instead. Okay. Very simple things that can cause so much headache. Okay, so let's replace those with arrows and see what happens. Okay, there we go. Things are looking up. So let's come back to the product part and let's remove this one. Let's leave this one inside there. And what do we do? Replace. So here now we have any category, but then we have these guys here. So any category, and then good. So as you can see now, it's easy to get this data. So we can do the same for brands and year. So let's try and do for year, and then we can do for brands. So I'll go back in this search here, and the same function I will duplicate, and this one is get years. So how exactly do we get the years? Well, what we're going to do is separate these guys. Let's go to our products, shall we? So in here we have a date, 2021. That's the only year in there. So we can get all the records in here and then sort them out by date. So let's see if this will work at all. So I'm just going to say select date because we're just interested in the date. So say select date from products. Now I don't need a where clause because I want all the dates. And then I'm just going to say, now the second alternative, another alternative is just to add a bunch of years in there, but that would be shooting blindly. So it's better we read what's in the database and get the years from there. So select date from products, and then I'm just going to say order by year date. I don't know if this actually will work, but let's see. So ID there, and let's change that to date. Okay. So actually I don't want to order by, I want to group by. I don't know if that will work though. So the only way to find out is to find out. So let's do the same thing, get years here, and let's go to products. Where is this? I'll duplicate this and put get years here. And then of course I will cut this and put it inside the year section. Like so. Good. Okay, so let's come back and see what happens. So we have just that 1 year there, but it seems that we have a few errors here. So let me copy this and put it at the top so we can read the errors in peace. So there we go. Undefined property ID. Okay, that's my bad because I just told it to get date and not ID. So let's do that. We don't actually need the IDs here because the date itself is the value. So let me just remove the IDs here anyway. And let's try again. So you see it returns just one of those. But still, what I wanted to return was just the year itself. So it returned one record because there's only one 2021. So what I will do here is, where is this? Yeah, so row date. So what I will do is set this out of here, like so that I can add a function. And I will put the function called date and just get the year like that. And then close that. Unfortunately, this function doesn't work with this kind of date. So we have to put this in brackets and then convert it to a string to time. String to time, like so. So we're converting it to a Unix timestamp, the number of seconds. We're converting this to seconds since 1970, and then just getting the year from it. So let's see if that works. And we have 2021. Good. So here it's complaining on line 56. Value of type no is not callable on line 56. Where is that? Products, line 56. Okay, it's because I put double. I don't know how this double came in, but that's okay. Let's go down to year and make sure we remove the double because we're trying to call the result of this, so that doesn't make sense. Okay, so refresh and there we go. So we have a year 2021, nice. And we have categories here, nice. Now we can put brands in the next video.